What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be continuing our Venus series and taking a look at everything you need to know when dating a Venus in Aquarius. So, let's get into it. Venus in Aquarius, a very interesting sign. And the first thing you want to know about this sign is that Aquarius is the sign of higher genius. It's an air sign, so it's very mentally engaging. It is a sign of scientific thinking, about humanitarianism, and most importantly, it is the desire to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, which involves the group. Okay, so when dating someone with Venus in Aquarius, I would say the first thing you got to do or know is respect their intellect. These people, especially if this is in a house like the 3rd house, the 5th house, 9th house, I would even say the 2nd house as well, and 11th, this is a very opinionated sign. And they pride themselves on being an expert at something. Okay, so more times than not, there's going to be something that the Venus and Aquarius person is very passionate about or really identifies with. This can be a political stance, economic stance, sexual, something in which they are likely. This thing likely expresses their own individuality. And the more you can respect that and make the Venus and Aquarius person feel accepted, the closer you'll get to them and the more you'll understand them. So like I said, the Venus and Aquarius person is typically defined by that intellectual, political, sexual thing that they strongly identify with. So you got to respect their intellect. You have to be intellectually engaging for them. Basically, you got to keep up. Because with my experience with Venus and Aquarius, they listen, but they also do a lot of talking as well. So whereas like a Venus and Sag really is here for the knowledge, they want to learn, Venus and Aquarius can be a little dogmatic. They can do a lot of the teaching, and what they really believe in, they tend to express that. Okay, so whether this is a male or a female, you don't want to come at them in the sense of, well, being judgmental or whatever their stance is, fighting them against it. Venus and Aquarius is also quite open-minded. So on the flip end, they're receptive towards learning things from you, but you probably won't be changing their minds a lot. Okay, so these can be the people who, I was just having this talk with someone. These can be the type of people in which you're in a relationship with them. They might be vegan or they might not be vegan, but whichever stance they are, like they're not very overly influenced by their partner. Whatever they know or they gravitate towards, they stick towards that. So they may be a vegan and get with someone who isn't a vegan, and the Venus and Aquarius person will let them just do their thing. Whereas other people feel like, if I'm living this lifestyle, you need to be living this lifestyle too. And that right there, kind of letting bygones be bygones, is very important to know about Venus and Aquarius. So seek to accept them and respect their intellect for sure. Next thing you want to know about this position is that they are very non-traditional. And this is reflected by how they think, how they dress. And a lot of times, you'll have a Venus and Aquarius who might rebel for the sake of rebellion. But I want to focus here in the terms of like dating in generals. This person, despite how they look, more times than not, how they look will not match up towards their thought processes. So it may be someone who you think is like, oh, this is not an intellectual type person. They're probably more materialistic or whatever. But then when you actually get to know them, they're a lot deeper than that. Okay? And vice versa. So this non-traditional thing about them really, for the person pursuing them, is important to know, because if you are that individual who is expecting like, okay, I'm a guy, you're a girl, when we go out, I'm gonna pay for everything, I expect you to act this way or stroke my ego. Venus and Aquarius is not gonna be like that. They may be, very much so on the tip of like, okay, equality and partnerships, or just because I'm a woman, I don't have to wear heels, or this is a very non-traditional thing. And a guy may feel the need to like, yo, I don't feel like I need to financially carry the burden within a partnership. So once again, communication with these people are going to be key. A Venus and Aquarius, they don't really hold anything back. If you talk with them, you'll really understand everything that they're about. So going into idea with this non-traditional thing, what I've also noticed well is the people that I've been privileged to connect with that are part of the polyamorous lifestyle, I would say 60% of the people have a Venus in Aquarius or Venus in the 11th house. So this non-traditional thing really seeps into the relationship in the sense of like, they may have no desire to get married, or they may be very set on adopting a child, okay? Or they may feel like we don't never need to live together. It's just really depending on how much you get to know them. So if you have some non-traditional views, I would definitely present this to the Venus and Aquarius, and more times than not, they're really receptive people. There's not too many things that are weird for them. So the next thing that really goes in conjunction with that, like I said, these people can be open towards like open relationships, polyamory, honesty. Be honest. These are people, particularly if they have like a Mercury aspect, or this is in a social house or communication house, they can be very, very blunt. And this sometimes makes others look at them as like a little cold, or a little standoffish, but they're really just honest people. So in return, they appreciate that honesty. So these aren't really the people that you need to necessarily be running game on. And I would say another thing that I've seen here is that people who attract Venus and Aquarius are attracting these people to eradicate any type of false idolization that they have. Because a lot of times what you'll see is that the person pursuing them is attracted to them for possibly some type of superficial quality. But then there's another, when you actually get to know the individual, there's something there that doesn't quite match up with what you thought of them. So you, a person attracting a Venus in Aquarius, expect the unexpected and be open towards it, So overall, these are really great people to, build friendships that can turn into something meaningful. But the thing here about them is that they see no pressure, or they feel no urgency in the relationship department. So another thing you should know is that they can be quite detached. Okay, they could be detached in the sense of not being overly affectionate. Not that they won't, but like overly affectionate. Like you may get it once a week or once in a blue moon. They express their appreciation for people, I would say, really through acts of service. That would be more so their kind of like love language, you know, versus quality time or physical touch. Quality time, this can be something that they're not very fond of because, like I said, these are normally people who are of the world and they have social groups that they're a part of, and you'll really be splitting time with others when pursuing a Venus in Aquarius. So what I've seen is that these people work very well with other Uranian type people. So someone with a Uranus in the 7th house, Uranus in the 4th house, 5th house, or Venus and Sag. You know, these two signs sextile each other, and yeah, they work pretty well with one another. And then, you know, the last thing that I would say about Venus in Aquarius is, one thing you know, they don't rush things. They don't rush things. They really put emphasis on friendship. These are the people who need to be their friends with their partner, and it's normally a progressive build. So I'm gonna be honest here, and other Venus in Aquarius, if you feel the need to, you can confirm this for me. These are one of the more signs open towards situationship or friends with benefits type of thing. Okay, normally, intimately, the people that they engage with are people from their social groups or friend groups, and then over time it builds. But I wouldn't come at this person with super intensity, trying to, you know, oh, what you doing today? You know, wanting to spend constant time, but rather kind of just flow. So, all in all, for the Venus in Aquarius works really well for an individual who desires partnership, but isn't looking for anything necessarily serious off the bat, and also for people who enjoy freedom and others who will support what they're doing. Okay, there's one more thing I forgot to add. I've also seen that this particular Venus is really attracted towards the opposite sign, Leo energy. The Venus in Aquarius really has appreciation for Leo, and Leo's ability to entertain and be warm and kind of act that out for them, right? But there's always the Leo person ends up not liking what they receive back from the Venus in Aquarius person. But I have noticed that they work well together in partnerships. The Venus in Aquarius person is very supportive of Leo, but Leo might be a little bit too demanding. So this person also has great potential to be a part of a power couple and, you know, build with their partner, particularly if there are earth placements or 10th house, you know, like the person's Venus ends up in the person's 10th house as well. There's a real strong ability to build. All right. So y'all, this is my interpretation of everything you need to know when dating a Venus in Aquarius. If you're a Venus in Aquarius or pursuing one, feel free to chime in. Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you could do so now. If you need a reading, holla at me. Till next time, peace.